Hold on. Hello. All right, so we're going to start with small joints today. So sit down. Oh, you guys were talking, you didn't hear me.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry, teacher. We have to stand in the corner.
No, you just have to do planks, that's all. All right, so let's start with the small joints, and we'll start with wrists, because that's what we got, lots of that business today. So arms out in front, tuck the thumb, wrap the fingers, and make circles around the wrist. And then getting into the shoulders and the elbows. Excellent. Oh, okay, that's good. All right, check that out. We're gonna bring the palms together, interlace the fingers, and make figure eights. Nice. And then we're gonna pause for a moment, pull the hands apart, switch which fingers on top. Excellent. Release that and shake it out. All right, next, we're gonna come into feet and ankles. All right, so starting with circles, we do 1 foot at a time, both together, go opposites. Excellent. All right, release that, and then we're gonna do supinate and pronate. So the sole of foot comes in towards the center, and then the pinky toe comes back towards the shoulder. You can do it back and forth. Do them the same on both sides. You can do opposites. Excellent. All right. Release that one. And then let's do open and closing the toes. So we're going to open and close the toes. Excellent. And release that one. And then we'll finish off with windshield wipers. And then, like I always say, noticing that movement coming all the way up into that hip socket. Excellent. And release that and shake it out. Nice. All right. Let's come up to hands and knees, and then we'll come up to stand. We'll do a couple things here, and then we come all the way up. Alright, so let's start with a nice cat and cow. We're gonna exhale cat. And then inhale cow. So in the cow, we wanna make sure we're not dropping the belly. Bring up towards the horizon, and then exhale back to cat. Inhale cow. Back to neutral. Let's do, we're gonna do 2 more here. So we're gonna do, we're gonna combine the bulldog salute with the thread the needle. All right, start with one hand, fingers at the forehead or at the temple. And we're gonna inhale and lift that elbow up. And then exhale, arm comes under the other, down to the shoulder, side of the head. Nice. Bring that arm back up, back to the temple. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, thread the needle. Nice. One more time. Fingers to the temple, and then inhale, lift. And exhale, thread the needle. Nice. Come back, bring that hand on the floor, and then we'll do the other side. Fingertips to the temple, inhale. And then exhale, thread the needle. Excellent. Fingers back to the temple, inhale, lift. Exhale, thread the needle. Awesome, one more time. Fingers to the temple, inhale, lift. And then exhale, down to the floor. Excellent, we're gonna bring the hand back to the floor, and we're gonna do, our last one's gonna be up plank. All right, so option, you can just bring the feet back behind you, or like stay on one knee and bring one foot back, or full pose, both feet back. Take a couple breaths. So option here, to come into downward facing dog, bringing the hips up, or come down to the knees and then come into downward facing dog. So if downward facing dog's not in your repertoire today, you can come up to standing. Otherwise, let's walk the dog, bend to a knee, extend the opposite heel towards the floor. And then we're going to straighten the legs and look up at the hands, walk the feet forward, or look back at the feet and walk the hands back. Take a moment in forward fold. Shake your head, yes and no. Relax those neck muscles. And then when you're ready to come out, bend the knees nice and deep. Arms out to the side. Inhale. Coming all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands to feet. Excellent. All right. So let's grab our poles. Let's start, so we did a couple of things that weren't symmetrical, so let's start with our cat and cow. So pole in front, we're gonna have the hands a little bit lower than shoulder, and feet can be nice and wide or closer together, whatever's comfortable, and we're just gonna do cat and cow. So we did it on our hands and knees, and now we're gonna do it standing. So exhale back to cat, bend the knees, tuck the chin. On the inhale, rounding up, lifting up. Exhale back. And then we're just going to go back and forth between the two. And one or two more each direction. And then back to neutral. Awesome. All right, let's do laterals next. So option to do it out the pole, and then you can go side to side. Otherwise, we're going to do one side at a time. So I've got the pole in one hand. It doesn't matter which one, we'll do both sides evenly. And the feet are maybe a little bit wider apart than normal, just for stability reasons. And then we're gonna inhale, bring this one arm up and over, just as far as is comfortable. And then exhale, bring it back. We're gonna do each side 10 times. 2 more. And last one. Nice. All right, switching hands. Same thing on this side. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. And 2 more. Nice. Alrighty. So let's do a nice twist next, and then we'll do some half sun salutations. Alright, so here we go. So again, you can do any of these without the pole. Otherwise, we're just going to do it like this. So you can do 1 breath per side, or just go back and forth. Exhale into the turn. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Excellent. One more time each side. And then back to center. Alright, so to do the half sun salutations, option first to do without the poles. Otherwise, just be gentle with yourself and go slow. Adding this adds a little bit extra pressure on the spine. All right, so here we go. Feet are decently wide. We're going to inhale, arms up. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. You can bring the pole to the front of the legs. You can bring it up by the head. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, down. Next, let's do 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale. Next, 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale, down. Nice. All right, let's see. Okay, I know what I'm going to do next. All right, so we're going to do a little hip movement. Always feels good in the morning. So pole is going to be in one hand, and we're going to lift one knee, and then make circles. So going back, out, and around. Nice. And then let's switch to the other side, and then we'll go back to the first and do the reverse. So we'll do forward, up, out, and around first. Nice. All right. And then let's go back to the first side, and we're going to go back, out, and forward. Nice. All right, let's do the other side. Back, out, and forward. Alright, let's do one more with the hips and then we'll do some balance. Alright, so you have the pole straight in front, but it might be easier to do it off to the side a little bit. So we're gonna do leg swings. So we're gonna bring leg in front, out to the side, and behind. Excellent, and one more. Nice, and then we'll switch sides. Bring it in front, out to the side, and behind. Nice. And one last time. Beautiful. Alrighty. So let's start our balance with, let's do palm tree pose. Okay, so you can do it without the pole. Otherwise, we're gonna go, we've done it all enough, we're just gonna go into it. So inhale and exhale. If you want to make it more intense, you can come up and stay up, take an extra breath, or just keep it going. Excellent. Let's do one more. Excellent. All right. So when you're ready, let's do the other moving balance. We're going to do Karate Kid flying crane. So a couple of different options for this one. If you want to use the pole, you can do one side at a time like that. Do it that way. Or other option is with the pole going up with both arms and then one leg at a time. All right, I'm gonna do it that way. All right, so here we go. And again, if you want to increase the bone density scale, working with one leg at a time and then holding the pose for longer, that's another option. Excellent. All right, one more time each side or finish off evenly. All right. So let's do Warrior One next, and we're gonna do the big fold with this one. So starting with the feet, you turn one foot out, step the other foot forward, and then we're gonna have the pole in the hand with the leg in the back. So I have left foot in front, right foot in the back, left hand, wait, I said that totally backwards, didn't I? I have my right foot in front, my left hand in front, my left foot in the back. All right, you guys know how to do this. Okay, so front leg, front arm does the moving. So here we go. So we're gonna inhale, bend that front knee, arm comes up. And then on the exhale, we're gonna fold forward. That arm sweeps all the way down. And then on the inhale, the arm sweeps up. And then on the exhale, the arm comes down, the leg straightens. Got it? You guys know it. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale, inhale, and exhale. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, come up, exhale, arm down. Again, inhale, exhale, fold forward, inhale, come back up, arm down. 1 more. Inhale, exhale, fold forward, inhale, come back up, exhale, down. Nice. Step the feet back together. And let's do the other side. Turn that foot out. Step the second foot forward. Pulls in the opposite hand. I'm gonna inhale. Arm comes up, bend that front knee. Exhale, fold forward. Arm sweeps down. Inhale, arm comes back up. Exhale, arm down. And again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, arm down. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, arm down. Again, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back up. Exhale. Nice. All right, let's step the feet back together. And let's do big wide circles. So we're gonna bring the pole in front, hands on the top, and we're gonna bring it up and around. You can keep it in front if it bothers your shoulder, otherwise you can go all the way around the head. Excellent. And then we're going to switch direction, and you probably picked the easier direction for you first, but maybe not. I know I did. Excellent. And finish that off. Let's bring the pole behind the spine. We're going to bring it about at the top of the hips. Hands can be out nice and far, or they can be in closer, wherever's comfortable. So let's do a little hip rolls. So we're going to make small circles with the hips. Excellent. Reverse direction. Awesome sauce. All right, so we're going to leave the pole where it is. Bring the hands in, maybe a little closer. If they're fine where they are, that's fine too. We're going to do a baby back bend. So just be gentle with yourself. Don't go further than is comfortable. And we're going to use the breath here. So feet can be probably shoulder width apart. Probably good to start. We're going to bend the knees a little bit. And looking straight ahead, we're going to inhale, looking up towards the ceiling. So we're just going to go just as far as comfortable. And then exhale, bring it back. Nice. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale, looking up. And maybe you go a little further this time. And then exhale, bring it back. Nice. Last one. Inhale. And exhale, bring it back. Awesome. All right, so now we're gonna do a forward fold for counter pose. Let's do feet nice and wide. We bring the pole out in front and the hands lower than the shoulder, but you can go down a little bit further. So let's do our dolphin pose here. So we're gonna bend the knees nice and deep. And on the exhale, we're gonna bring the head down, maybe between the arms if you like, and then inhale, come back up. So kind of like cat and cow, but mostly the cat part, sorry. So you can come up and then look up if you want, or just keep it as the dolphin part. Excellent. All right, one or two more. Nice. All right, and then we'll walk it back up. All right. Let's do our fabulous balance poses, our stationary balance poses, and then we'll do warrior two. All right. So starting with tree pose. Again, if you like it without the pole, you can do it that way. Otherwise, I kind of like it with the pole. So here we go. So you're gonna pick one foot, that foot gets rooted into the floor. You can start with the heel above the ankle on the other floor. Or, since you have your pole, if the foot can come up higher, awesome sauce. If not, no worries. And then we're gonna take this other arm and bring it up. And then option to move it. You can stay here and breathe, or inhale, and then exhale, drop that arm down. And then on the inhale, bring it up. Let's do two more breaths. And last one. And then coming out nice and gracefully. Shake out that straight leg, shake out the bent leg, whatever you like. And we're gonna switch sides with the feet. You may like the pole on the same side, doesn't matter. As long as we're breathing. All right, so foot rooted into the floor, heel above the ankle, or if you like, you can bring it up a little bit higher. You're gonna inhale this arm up, and then on the exhale, arm comes down. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale down. Two more breaths. And last one. Excellent. Release the leg and shake them out. Nice. Next one is pigeon. All right. So pick a foot. You can start with the other one if you want. I'm not going to, but you can. All right. So we're going to bend the knee and make a little shelf here, and bring the other foot or ankle on that little shelf. So we kind of want a little bit of a bend in the knee. So we have options here. You can be more vertical with the torso, or you can bend the hips a little bit and kind of sit more, depending on your comfort level here. So option here, if you want to make this more intense, you can come into a fold. So inhale, and then exhale, you can drop this other arm down. Or you can stay where you were, that's totally fine too. When you're ready to come out, we're gonna push that foot that's on the floor into the floor, inhale. Coming up, release that other leg, and shake it out. Nice, all right, let's try the other side. Root that foot into the floor. We're gonna bend that knee, make a little shelf, bring that ankle or foot up on that shelf. This hand can be on the hip, or up, or down, or wherever you like it. So depending on how comfortable it is, you can be more upright, you can sit a little bit more. Another breath or so. If you want to stay here, that's perfect. If you want to, in the exhale and come into a fold, dropping that arm in front, or sleeping pigeon. Excellent. When you're ready to come out, we're gonna push that foot down, inhale, bring the body back up, and release the legs, and shake them out. Shake out the arms. All right, good tree. All right, last difficult balance pose is dancer. So if you have, I don't have a chair here. If you have a chair, and you want to, you can rest that leg on the chair. If you can't reach that leg, resting it on a chair works. I know we don't have straps out, but grabbing a strap and pulling that leg up is another option. All right, so let's start. So we're gonna pick, let's see. So this one, the leg that's on the floor is the arm you want the pull in. Because we're gonna grab the other foot or ankle with the hand. All right, so this is first position. So that knee points down towards the floor. So you're getting a nice stretch in the front of that thigh, those quad muscles. The other thing you want to do, so we don't want to be bending forward. We want to keep the shoulders up and back a little bit. And then if you want to take this further, we're going to point that knee towards that back wall. And again, we're not coming forward with the shoulders. We want to keep them back and open. Since I'm up on the stage, I'm not going to do it because I get nervous I'm going to fall forward. But there is another option with this to lift this arm up. All right, coming out, point the knee towards the floor, and then release the foot. And shake it out. Awesome. All right, you guys ready for the other side? So root that other foot, pulls on that same side. We're gonna grab that foot or ankle with the other hand. Start with that knee pointing towards the floor. And you can stay here, or option to point the knee towards that back wall. Make sure you keep breathing. Excellent. Another option is to lift this arm holding the pole. I'm not going to do that today. And then to come out, we're going to bring that knee point towards the floor, and then release the foot and the arm. And this one, shake it out nice and good. All right, time for Warrior 2. So, Warrior 1, the pole's in the front, Warrior 2, the pole's in the back. So we're gonna bring one foot in front, back foot's at 90 degrees-ish, pole's in that back hand. So we're gonna bend the front knee, so it's over the ankle. And then we'll bring that front arm out in front. And the gaze is over those fingers. So softening the shoulders, we'll take a breath or so here. And then when you're ready, we're going to do side angle pose and peaceful warrior. So bend that front elbow, forearm comes to the thigh. If you can, looking towards the side a little bit, bringing that upper shoulder towards the back wall. And then on your next inhale, we're going to bring that arm up towards the ceiling. And then let's do it again. Exhale, side angle pose. inhale, peaceful warrior. And one more time through. Exhale, side angle pose. And inhale, peaceful warrior. Next, we'll finish off with warrior two. And then we're going to set the feet back together. And go to the other side. All right, other foot in front. We're gonna bend that knee over the ankle, hand at the heart, and then arms open. Gazes over the front fingers, softening the shoulders, extend the arms. Take a breath or so here. Awesome sauce. All right, bend that front elbow, forearm comes to the thigh. And then on your next inhale, peaceful warrior. And back to side angle pose with an exhale. And inhale, peaceful warrior. And one more time through. Side angle pose. And inhale, peaceful warrior. Next, we're going to finish off with warrior two. Soften the shoulders. And then release. All right, step the feet back together. Check out the feet. Let's do high lunge and then we'll do chair pose. All right, so for high lunge, a couple of different ways to do it. So you can do it without the pole. You can do it with the pole, step 1 foot forward and bring that arm up. Another option is use the pole like that, or let's see, lift the leg up and the arm up, and then step the leg back. Okay, is that too complicated? It's too complicated. All right, so we're just gonna do it like this. So we're gonna inhale, bring the pole up, step 1 foot forward, take an inhale, and then on the exhale, come back, and then let's do it again. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. And last one. Nice. Exhale down. We'll switch legs. So we're going to inhale, step forward, arm comes up. Exhale down. And again, inhale. And then exhale. Exhale, and last one. Nice. All right. Before we do chair, let's do pyramid. Okay, so pyramid is similar to triangle with keeping the front knee mostly straight. You can do any bend you want, but the idea is a straightish knee on the front. The other thing with pyramid is, in theory, we're all in different bodies, so it doesn't always work, but the feet are parallel to each other, pointing the toes up towards the top of the mat. So we're going to step 1 foot forward. If this is too wobbly, you can bring the feet wider apart, like that. So that gives you more of a stable base. So the pyramid is looking at the legs like that. From the side, it looks like a pyramid. All right. So the pole, we're going to put in the opposite hand of the foot that's in front. And then options with the other side, you can have that hand on the hip, or you can have the hand behind the spine on that low back. That's usually where it is in a traditional pyramid pose. Or you can use the arm when you fold forward. All right, so let's do 3 on each side. So we're gonna inhale. On the exhale, hinge at that front hip, and we're gonna fold forward. So as far as you get, that's where you're meant to be. So if you can touch the floor, that's fine. If not, don't worry about it, wherever you reach. Inhale, we're gonna come back up. We're gonna come up with a straight spine and bend the knee as much or as little as you need. Exhale, fold forward. And then inhale, come back up. And one more time, exhale. And last, inhale, come back up. Awesome, all right, you can bend that front knee, step the feet back together or step forward. We're gonna switch sides. All right, we're hinging at that hip joint, inhale. Lift up, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. And again, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring it back up. Excellent, one more time, exhale. And inhale. Nice, you can bend that front knee, step the feet back together. All right, so check that out. And let's do chair pose and then we'll do triangle and then we'll come down to the floor. I think, unless I think of something else I wanna do. Or if there's something you wanna do. Chair pose, so option, put the pole away and do it just regular, otherwise, here we go. So the closer the feet are together, the more work it is for the thighs. But if your balance isn't in for that, then hip joint apart is probably good. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna inhale, point the pole up towards that opposite corner of the wall. On the exhale, we're gonna sit in our pretend chair. So if this is too much to hold the arms up like this, you can bring them down. Or you can always use the pole like that. All right, so we're gonna exhale, fold forward, release the chair, and then inhale, come back into your chair. Maybe you're sitting a little lower. Maybe not, that's totally fine. Excellent, all right, here we go. Exhale, fold forward. And one more time, inhale. Excellent, exhale, release. And then we're gonna inhale and come all the way back up. Nice, all right, shake it out. And let's do what I say, triangle? Okay. So similar to what we just did with pyramid, if you don't like triangle with the pole, put it aside. It does make it a little different. All right, so whichever foot you like in front, back foot's turned out. Ideally, the knee in the front is straight, but bend it as much as you need to. The pole is in front. We're gonna start with that forward foot and arm. This arm is gonna come down, and we're gonna bring the other arm up and over. So if you're up here and you're mostly vertical, that's totally fine, you're still getting benefits. If you want to walk that lower hand down, you're welcome to do that. But just try and see if you can look towards the horizon, like under the armpit a little bit. So we have more of a twist in there with the lateral. Take a couple breaths here. Excellent, and then to come out, we're gonna bend the front knee, walk the hands back up, and then step the feet back together. You can step forward or step back. All right, let's go to the other side. Forward foot, same arm. Knee can have as much or as little bend as you need. And then we're gonna bring the back arm up and over. And you can stay here, or you can walk that lower hand down a little bit more. I'm gonna bring that upper shoulder towards that back wall a little bit, if you can. Excellent. When you're ready to come out, you walk the hands up, bend that front knee, and then step the feet back together. Shake it out. All right, let me see. Oh, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do one more, and then we'll come down to the floor. So let's do our halfway around the worlds. So we'll go forward first, do each leg, and then go backwards. All right, so here we go. So stepping forward to noon, around to 3, and then to back to 6, and then back to center. And one more. Nice. We'll switch sides. Forward, out to the side, to the back, and back to center. And last one. Nice. All right, switching back to the first foot, we're gonna go backwards first, out and around, in the front, back to center. And last one. Nice, let's do the other side. Going back, out, around, in front, back to center. And last one. Nice. All right. Invitation to come into a squat, to come down to the floor. If that's not your thing, just come and sit. Excellent. And then coming, sitting gracefully on the floor. All right, so we did a few more hip things than we sometimes do. So let's do a couple more. So we're gonna take both feet. We're gonna do deer pose. Somebody call it Zorro pose. That was kind of interesting. All right, so right foot to right hip. And then we're gonna take the left foot in front of the right knee. So your body's gonna feel like it wants to lean over towards the side. See how perpendicular to the floor you can get the torso. And then we're gonna do a little twist. So let's go to, if you have your right foot by your right heel, let's go to the right. Excellent. And then let's try the other side. So legs stay the same, and then we're gonna twist in the opposite direction. Back to center, we're going to swing both legs in front, and then go to the other side. So left foot by that left heel, right foot in front of that left knee. Trying to get that torso up to perpendicular. And then let's go towards the first side. back to center, and then twist to the other side. Excellent. Unwind. We're going to bring the legs back in front. Feet come up to the top of the mat. And then we're going to roll back onto the spine. So let's start with one-legged Apanasana. So we're going to exhale, bring one knee in. Inhale, foot to the floor. Exhale, other side. Exhale, knee comes in. Inhale, foot to the floor. We'll do both sides a couple times, maybe noticing when the spine feels back to symmetrical. Did lots of twists and turns. Excellent. Let's do one more time each side or finish off evenly. And then we're going to bring both knees into the chest. On the inhale, feet up towards the ceiling, arms overhead to the floor above you. And if you like, you can point and flex the feet. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Let's do that again. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. One more time. Inhale, open, point and flex. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Nice. All right, let's do, we're going to bring feet down to the mat. We're going to do one round of bridge pose. So arms down by your side. If you have a favorite one that you like, you can do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to do the middle option, arms and hips come up. So here we go. So we're going to inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. Nice. And again, inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. And let's do one more. Inhale, arms up, hips up. Exhale, arms down, hips down. Nice. Let's do one more round of Apanasana. We're going to do wide-legged Apanasana. Unless you have a different favorite, you can do that. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, knees out. Feet down to the mat. Option to keep the knees bent, feet in the mat, or extend the legs all the way straight out. Bring the arms down by your sides and finish off with palm tree pose arms. Inhale, arms up overhead to the floor above you. Exhale, arms back down by your sides. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. Finish the one you're on and do two more. Excellent. And then let's get ready for our final relaxation pose. Relax the legs and the feet away from each other. Arms down by your sides. And hands away from the body. Maybe tuck the shoulder blades under, if that's comfortable. Get any last little wiggles out. I'm going to sit up so you can hear me better. And let's do a full body relaxation. Walking up the body, relaxing each part as we go. Starting with the feet. Relax the toes. Relax the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, and the heels. Release the ankles. and chins. Release the knees. Relax the tops of the thighs and the backs of the thighs. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the ribcage and let go of breath. Let the shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Release the jaw. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. If you'd like, you can roll your head side to side. When you're ready, and with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. When you're ready, and again with an inhale, pushing up to a comfortable sitting position. And to bring breath back into the body and find us safely on our way, let's finish with a breath of joy. All right, looks like this, hands together on the heart, inhale, hands down, arms up and around, fingertips touch. Exhale, arms come all the way back around, hands to earth. 3 times. Ready? Here we go. Inhale. Hands down, arms up, fingertips touch. Exhale, all the way back around, hands to earth. And again, inhale. Fingertips touch. Exhale. Hands to earth. And one more time. Inhale. Fingertips touch. Exhale. Nice. Palms together, palms in the heart, and namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks, gang. See you next week.
Is that when they're doing the floors?
No, not till August.